I was working with a client last week who was just bitching and complaining about everything at work. They were complaining about their coworkers, about the pressure at work, about the CEO, about systems, about everything. It was just going on and on. Now, it's not unusual for someone to complain to their coach. Everybody needs someplace where they don't have to be professional, where they can be a whiny little victim and get that stuff out. And but also, a coach is a good person to have because then you can be that little whiny victim, and then the coach will listen and then turn you back around back into the owner, into the powerful person that you are, so that you can do something about the situation. So I was listening to this complaining and complaining and complaining and kind of wondering. I said, this is more than usual. This doesn't sound like your usual, just grumpy, general grumpiness. What's going on? Nothing, we couldn't figure anything out. And then I dug a little bit deeper and we realized that some of the self-care that we had put into his life was lacking. Now, I'm not talking about bubble baths and poetry. I'm talking about exercise, good food, time with his beautiful wife, that kind of thing. Uh, what happens is, we talk about allostatic load over and over and over again, right? And allostatic load is that ability to cope, how much stress you have in your system at any given time. And the two ways to deal with your allostatic load is one way to get rid of the stressors, less stressors, and the other way is to increase your capacity, which is, bring good things into your life. So we dig a little bit deeper and we find out that actually he's dealing with a ton of stuff in his personal life. Now, if you have elderly parents, if you have a spouse, if you have children and a family, if you have a body, if you're living in this world, you're going to be dealing with things outside of work that's going to affect how you deal with and how you cope with the pressures of work. It's just inevitable if you're human. We all do. So we started looking at some of those things and started to address some of those things. So, how do we alleviate the stress of some of the things he was responsible for his family? How do we solve some of those problems? So we did that. Realized we need to put some of those self-care things back in. The gym is an absolute must, right? And we worked on a few of those things and then a little bit of time off. This happened about 4 times last week. Like that's why I'm doing this podcast, because so many people were dealing with so many things, whether it's children, whether it's a breakup, whether it's elderly parents. There was so many things. For me, I have a bunch of house things going on. Now that's not a big deal, but depending on how long I've been on hold talking to Lowe's about a storm door, my allostatic load can go up. I was talking to a CEO. We were having our one-on-one about one of the people that I coach, and the CEO was talking about how he was backsliding. We were having a conversation about how my client was backsliding, and then he said, "Yeah, no, I've been backsliding in my behaviors too." He said, "I was having trouble with this and this and this, all in his personal life." Right. So the CEO was talking about all the stresses in his personal life that were giving him a short fuse and having him fall back to some behaviors that he had really worked on with his coach to shift. So again, when we're not at our best, those behaviors start to come back. Those the way we deal with the stuff comes back in a negative way. So we always have to be leery of that allostatic load. So again, if you have a life, if you have a body, if you're a human on this planet, you're going to have stresses outside of work. Remember, the other thing that the CEO said was, I wish who was talking about my client, I wish he would be more vulnerable and share with us when something going on in their lives. I said, so you mean like you? Were you vulnerable about with what was going on with you? And he said, no, I didn't share what was going on with me either. Most of us like each other at work and want to support each other. And if we actually know what's going on with someone, we'll help, or we'll at least give you a little bit of leeway, a little bit of slack, right? I was in one of my workshops last week. One of the CEOs was talking about how it is a family first company. If you're dealing with something in your family, we support you to go take care of that. But you have to ask, you have to tell people, you have to allow help. So how do you be your best at work? You have to care. You have to care about that, right? So in caring about that, it means taking care of your allostatic load. Taking care of your allostatic load means eating healthy food, getting enough rest, getting enough sleep, getting enough downtime. You have to take vacations, you have to take downtime because you're just not as effective, right? You need your family time. Also, meditation and journaling. If you want to superpower your allostatic load, if you really want to superpower that capacity you have to deal with stuff, spend 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes just sitting and breathing and doing nothing. Be still. You don't have to sit on a cushion and ohm. You can sit with your cup of coffee and stare out the window, but you need that quiet time. You really want to charge it up. Do some journaling in the morning and clean out the pipes there and get stuff down out there. So let's recap. If you're human, you're going to have problems. If you're in relationships, you're going to have challenges. And if you have a job, you're going to have to be at your best. So you got to do what you need to do. So remember, ask for help. Let people know what's going on. Something's going on with them also, right? Give other people a break. Inquire. Ask other people if they're having a hard time at work and they're unusually grumpy or unusually complainy. Check on them, see how they're doing, and then check your self-care. What do you need to be at your best? I just last week I did 4 speaking gigs in a row in 2 cities, one virtual, and then I picked a friend up from the train station who rode back with me to my house, and then another friend came and stayed with me. And these are my closest people, people I love more than anything. And my son came out to dinner, and it was wonderful. But I hadn't been alone in over a week, and I'm an introvert. I was getting grumpier and grumpier and grumpier. And thank God my friends know me really well. I love them more than anything in the world. And I was like, you guys got to go. Like, I'm done. I need to be by myself for just a little while. I just need to recharge. Right. And for me, sometimes it's art. Sometimes it's something productive. Sometimes it's just a really bad Netflix show. So I know what I need to do to recharge. I know that I need to get up at 5 to 15 in the morning, and I need to spend time on my meditation cushion with my journaling. And in order for me to become Zen Master Flash for the rest of the day for all the people that I work with. If I don't do that, I can't be the coach who's grounded and centered for other people. So I know what I need to be grounded and centered. What do you need to do? So take care of yourself, love yourself, because I love you. Have a great rest of the day.